Hello everyone. Welcome to the Blue Cube channel. This is the third lesson of the Adobe Illustrator training course that I will teach you from beginner to advanced level. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create square and rectangular shapes in various ways and adjust them. But before I start the lesson quickly, I request that if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click the subscribe and like button right under this video. Generally, to create shapes in Adobe Illustrator, click on the rectangle tool. However, besides that, as I mentioned in the previous lesson, any tool that has this small arrow you see here, you can right-click on the tools that have that arrow or hold down the left mouse button on the tool to see other tools. So, I'm holding down the left mouse button on the rectangle tool to see other shapes here. By right-clicking once on each tool, you can also see more tools. But friends, we can create shapes in two ways. First, I select this rectangle here and hold down the left mouse button on this page and drag it. This way, I have created a rectangle. Now that I've created this rectangle, using the Align tools in the Properties panel and also in the top toolbar, I can adjust the position of the shape on the artboard. I can place it in the center or anywhere else. Now, the second method to create shapes is to select the rectangle tool and click once on artboard. Look, I click once and release the left click. In this way, the rectangle window opens for us. Now, we can manually enter the dimensions of the rectangle or square. Suppose I want to have a rectangle exactly like this, but smaller. I come here and click on this chain icon to change one of these values, and the next value also changes proportionally. I come here and instead of 130 millimeters, I write the number 65 in this box. You can see that the height is proportionally reduced. Now, if I click the OK button here, a rectangle will be created for me just like this, but much smaller. If I want to move it, I can click and hold the left mouse button on this point precisely to change the mouse cursor here and place it. For example, in this area. I click on Artboard again. But friends, the point here is why it's in millimeters and not, for example, pixels or inches. The reason is that, as I mentioned in Lesson 1, when you create a preset, you can choose the measurement unit for that preset. And then, any shapes you create will be based on that initial choice. For example, I cancel this, go to the File menu, choose New, and create a new preset. But this time, instead of millimeters, let's say I select pixels and click Create. In this new artboard, if I click the left mouse button, you can see that the rectangle is created based on pixels, and we need to consider pixel dimensions now. But in the previous preset, because I had set up the preset in millimeters, we can create shapes based on millimeters here. However, here we can also change the measurement unit. If I select Selection tool and click on the artboard in the Properties panel, I can change the measurement unit here, for example, to inches or other measurement units. Millimeters are suitable for us right now. With the Rectangle tool, I create another rectangle like this. As I mentioned, to move the shape, you can select the Selection tool, hold the left mouse button on the center point of the shape and move it. Besides this method, you can also click and hold the left mouse button on this empty space with the Selection tool and move your shape around and place it wherever you want. But in the corners of the rectangle, there are 4 points or anchors. If I come here and drag them like this, you can see that the corners become rounded, and a rectangle like this is created for us. I can round them to a greater extent like this, and the color of this area becomes red, indicating that we can't round the corners more than this. So, we can come in here and curve these corners as much as we want. I select the rectangle tool again. Now, if we want to create a square, what should we do? After selecting the shape, hold the Shift key, left click and drag. In this way, we can create a precise square. But if I hold the Shift and Alt keys on the keyboard at the same time and drag, the square is created from the center. Sometimes, we need shapes to be created from the center. So by holding the Shift and Alt keys and left clicking, you will see that this square is created from the center and not from the corner. Now I release the Alt key, and you can see that the square is created from the corner like this. Now, friends, if I create another rectangle, and this time I hold down the space key, I can move it anywhere I want. See, the shape hasn't been created yet because I haven't released the left click. If I release the space key, I can change the size of the rectangle or square I want to create. Again, I can move it using the space key like this. Now, I release the left click, and the shape is created in the location I desire. Well, now I select the shapes with the selection tool and press the delete key to delete the shapes. But, friends, remember that these rectangles and squares we created are colorless and only have a stroke or outline. In Adobe Illustrator, we can easily add colors to these elements. Right now, when I click here, it's clear that fill is written. The colors inside the shapes are currently white, and since our artboard is also white, you might think they have no color. In fact, their color is currently white, which I don't want right now. If I click here, for example, I can choose the color red. If I wanted to have no color and only a stroke, I click on this option. Now, our rectangle shape has no color and only has a stroke, as it's written here. And from here, we can adjust the stroke thickness. Also, instead of this simple line that has been created, we can create different lines of the control section. I click in this part and choose a different line instead of the simple line. I select the line again and replace it with another line. In future lessons, we will delve fully into these topics. I just wanted you to get familiar with them for now so that we can cover them again in future lessons. Remember and practice all these things I mentioned in this tutorial because these concepts are essential for all shapes and projects. You must understand these concepts thoroughly. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click the subscribe button or the subscribe below the video, and please like the video. Goodbye for now.